Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. You all know what is IQ. IQ means, why should I? Q is a Hindi word. My Q. See? Many people have this problem. Swamiji, I have done so much, but all the problems come to me. Why me? So I tell them, why not? IQ is intelligent quotient. Similarly, there is another Q that is called as WQ. WQ is wit quotient. There is a difference between jokes and wit. Many times it happens. I was having a series of lectures in Lonavala, a Kaivalya Dham institution of yoga. For about 1 week, very intense retreat. And the topic was beyond body, mind and soul. That was the topic. And we had come to the point of beyond soul. So it was a very deep subject. So those who were attending to me regularly, they were of a different caliber. And there is to be always a floating population. Say they come there for treatment, and because the classes are free, they will come and sit down. So there was one Punjabi lady, she came. She sat, and afterwards she said, Swamiji, what happened to you? Are you all right? I said, why? You are not telling jokes. So that day I discovered, people think I don't talk wisdom, I talk jokes. See friends, jokes are different. Wit and humor is different. Wisdom always expresses as wit and humor. Those who do not have wit and humor, there is something, one screw has fallen. They are not normal. This world is a great mega cartoon show that is going on. But we become serious about every stupid thing. See friends, don't take life as a burden. Spirituality is not as if you are carrying the whole globe on your head. Can you imagine Hercules with a smile? We are all Hercules. Her means everyone. Har ek aadmi, Hercules. See friends, don't take life too seriously. But somehow or the other, when the scriptures or religion or the philosophy or spirituality or devotion comes, we become so serious that after this we are going to be slaughtered. See friends, that is not spiritual life. Let us lead the life in the light of wisdom, lightly, not heavily. And those who do not have that wit quotient, they cannot understand jokes. Then out of every small little thing, they make an issue. See? Then what it has to do with Bhagavad Gita? We are here for studying Bhagavad Gita, is it not? I'll tell you one or two examples. Many years before, that time I was pretty young, smart, etc. It's not a joke. It's a reality. So, I was also invited for a big gathering on Bhagavad Gita. About 5-6 Mahatmas were sitting, and I was the youngest that time, maybe 30-40 years before. And everybody is talking on Gita with seriousness and all that. And when my turn came, I spoke. When my talk was over, one elderly Mahatma, maybe 70, 80 not out, he came to me and he told, Dekho beta, my dear child, don't mind. You should not talk so lightly. I said, okay, I will talk heavily. And stop the topic. Please remember one basic principle. Never argue with the elderly people. Elderly people cannot change. Then what to do with them? Pray to the Lord. Oh Lord, maybe in the next life they may change. This life they cannot change. So I agreed with him immediately. Yes, I will not talk lightly. So there was one Kamandalu with me. Like Ajit is my Kamandalu here, there was another Kamandalu there. So he told me, Swamiji, why didn't you tell him? I said, look here, he is the elderly person. Elderly person, we should never argue. This is the fundamental rule of life. Because when you agree immediately, whatever they say, you know what happens? They forget about what you have said yes. And nothing to discuss. But when you interact, argue, it becomes deep. So, he said, but tell me now, why you talk lightly and not seriously? I said, if you have studied Bhagavad Gita, in the first chapter, it is very specifically, clearly, distinctly mentioned. See? Sanjay tells Dhritarashtra. When Arjuna was crying through, frustrated, see, Sidanti mamagatrani mukham cha parishyati ve patuscha sharire me roma harshascha jayate gandivam srausate hastat tvakchaiva paridayate. Arjuna was crying. See, I am unable to stand even. My mind is going in circles. To that frustrated, depressed, dejected Arjuna, Bhagavan Krishna did not play Jugalbandi. No, beta, I also accepted. No. Bhagavan Krishna, Prahasan Iva Bharata. Bhagavan Krishna delivered his discourse with a smile on the face, with humor in his heart and confidence in his mind. That is the character of Bhagavan Krishna. He never became serious. See, friends. Therefore, if original Gita is delivered lightly, why should we become heavy? See, don't take life too seriously. Therefore, let us see how Bhagavad Gita was born. Now you all must be knowing the various stories. This happened, that happened. That I will not tell you because you know it already. This also I learned from the children. Children are genius. All the people are my guru because I learned from them. So in Bombay, some kids I was talking to them. That time I was new in my profession. So didn't know how to bluff properly. So we used to read, prepare something and go and talk to the children. So I told one Dhruva story. One child said, Swamiji, I know this story. I don't believe in that. He is right. He said, how can somebody stand on one leg at the age of 5 and do the japa Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya? I cannot stand on 2 legs. Forget about 1 leg. I don't believe in that. Then I told the story of Prahlad, how he was tortured by his father. Swamiji, this is rubbish. My dad is so good. He doesn't torture me like that. That also gone. Then I think, what should I tell you? The child told me, Swamiji, you tell your personal experiences. Don't make the stories and from the books. We are the generation of Amar Chitra Katha. Those days, Amar Chitra Katha was rampant. They knew everything. Therefore, that type of traditional thing I am not going to tell you from Bhagavad Gita. You are all expert. This happened in Calcutta many years before. It was Janmashtami, and I was new there, maybe 2-3 days before I had come. I didn't know much about even the city of Calcutta. So with my friend, we went to see this Janmashtami celebration in some place. On the roadside in a big place, there are thousands of people. So I was standing at the end. Hardly anybody could see me. From the stage, one lady, she was announcing. And she said, we are happy to announce you that Swamiji has come in the midst of us. I request him to come to the stage and bless us and tell us something about Bhagavad Gita. By the time I crossed that ocean of beings, I came to the stage. When I took the mic in my hand, she said, Swamiji, there are only 5 minutes for delivery. Bhagwan's birth. Only 5 minutes for the delivery. So kindly tell in 5 minutes Bhagavad Gita. See, it will be digitally original only. It can't be talked. So I started. Bhagwan Krishna took the avatar as a Leela. Be very attentive. All the problems of your life, any problem you take, can be sorted out only by one reply. And the reply is, life is Rama Leela, life is Krishna Leela. And what is Leela? Leela means everything appears to be happening, but nothing happens. See? Once, one drama was to be enacted before the public. So the last but one final practice was being done on an actual stage and everything. So the director was my friend. So me and the director, we two of us sat in the audience, and the whole drama was to be practiced. And in the drama, the scenario was, one person comes with a gun in the hand, and there is another Malayali reading a newspaper. Who is a Malayali who ties and unties the lungi non-stop? He was doing that. There was one joke. In Kerala, there is 100% literacy. Yet, why Kerala is not a progressive state? Why the Keralites don't work? Reply is, they don't have time. Whole time they do and undo the lungi. How can they work? No time. So that Keralaite, he was reading the newspaper, and these terrorists came and he pumped bullets in that Kerala, tat, 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 and he went away. That person acted his part best. Now the Keralaite the victim has to act his part. So what he did? He folded the newspaper, kept it properly, did his lungi, and slowly fell and died. So the director said, there is no life in your death. Die lively. So when the person was shooting and killing, he was not shooting and killing. And when this person died, he didn't die. But if there is a police officer in the audience who does not have this top floor empty, he who doesn't have the understanding, this is just a drama, he will immediately go and catch them. You killed him. It's just a drama, friends. So I told him, Bhagavan Krishna came in this world not for anything serious. Don't go too serious. Yada yada hi dharmasya ग्लानिर्भवति भारत अभ्युत्थानमधर्मस्य तदात्मानं सृजाम्यहं परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवामि युगे युगे. Don't become serious. Bhagwan, what he said, he has taken the help of Maya. Maya means what? All that is appearing doesn't exist. So Mayaya. And that is all we all have to do. There is no option. So Bhagwan took the avatar and then he is full of joy, bliss. See? Bhagwan Krishna was not a frustrated one. He was all the time full of bliss and no blisters. We have no bliss, only blisters everywhere. And wherever there is blister, you can't laugh with a blister in your tongue. Why blisters on your tongue? See, friends. So, Bhagwan Krishna wanted to share his bliss and happiness with Arjuna. Arjuna was his closest friend. And when you like something, don't you like to share with your friend? Like, I liked one movie we saw yesterday with Ajit. The movie was Samsara. It's one of the very documentary type of movie. The whole life is shown, no dialogues, no nothing. How the life begins and how it goes through all varieties of changes. So because I like it, I like to share with someone whom I love. Like Amul chocolate. Share with whom you love. So, Bhagwan Krishna wanted to share the bliss that he is, the happiness that he is. But Arjuna was so busy in fighting with the world. When he was in the forest, do you think there he was doing meditation? No, he was collecting all the powers so that after this is over, I'll go and kill those Kauravas with that bitterness, with that vengeance, with that arrogance. A person cannot laugh. A person who can laugh is innocent like a child. See, one of the most important things of life is this: we are able to laugh. Except in the Disney movies, have you seen a Mr. Buffalo going and Miss Buffalo going and they are exchanging a smile? Human beings alone can laugh. We are produced only to laugh, no other purpose. See, friends, God created this world. First, He created stones and bricks and mountains and rivers. But He was not very happy. So, He scratched another head. You know, our God, Brahmaji, has 4 heads. With the first head, He created stones and bricks. Not happy. Oh, useless. Then He scratched the second head. And then He created the plant kingdom. But even then He was not much happy. Then He scratched the third head. He created the animal kingdom. And yet He was not happy. So He was frustrated, what to do. Imagine with one head frustration, what is your condition? 4 times frustrated simultaneously. So Brahmaji was frustrated, and that time Brahmani came. Brahmani is his wife. Our gods are not bachelors, they are married already. So Brahmani came, she said, may I help you? You look little frustrated. Brahmaji said, What can you help me? What do you know in creation? So she said, look here, even a dead clock shows correct time twice a day. I am your wife. I can definitely tell you something. All the husbands have this notion, wives are dumb. It is from that time onwards. It is not new. And it is true also. It is true, yes. Or else who will marry this fellow? Unless they are dumb. Swamiji, thank you. So, Brahmani told, why don't you create someone like you, but with one head? I am fed up with your four heads. Like vigilance officer, like those CCTV cameras everywhere. And thus, God created man in his image. Now see this creation. In stones and bricks, there is only existence. Then in plant kingdom, existence plus life, evolution. In animal kingdom, there is existence, life and knowledge. I was in Ketchikan, Alaska, and such a surprising thing. That place is known for the capital of some salmon fish. So, Solomon fish. Every year, the fish come back to that particular place, and in that area, in the big lake, the females lay the egg in the waters, the male lay the sperm in the water, the fertilization happens in the waters, and the fingerlings are born, and thereafter the parents die immediately, and the fingerlings slowly grow, and again heavy rains come, and everything is flown flush back into the ocean, and this is continuing every year. How they know where to go, where form come? They have got a built-in GPS. They have got a knowledge. So, existence plus life, existence plus life plus knowledge in animal kingdom. But when it comes to the human being, if only these three things are there, we are still at the animal level. Then we are the descendants of Darwin. Darwin says human beings are animals because they don't laugh. Then what is that? What makes human being? And when God created man in his image, and God is nothing but bliss, and therefore only human beings alone can laugh. They are alone able to express happiness. See, the monkeys have been staying on the trees. Now also they stay everywhere. The crows build their nest only out of the hard sticks. There is no change. See the human beings, out of one rice, how many things are made? Wherever there is expansion, it is joy. Wherever there is contraction, it is frustration. Jaun to jaun kahan, bhaad mein jao. We are here only for one purpose, express happiness in life. There is no other purpose. See, friends. But then we have, a manufacturer's defect. As if we have taken a vow, we are not going to be happy. See, friends. Therefore, when Bhagavan saw Arjuna is not getting the bliss that I have, I am ready to give him. But he doesn't even ask once. See? There was a great saint in Ganesh Puri, near Bombay. You might have heard his name, Nityananda Baba. It is there I started the Ananda Mangal camp, which we hold every year at the end of the year, last 5 days. So, he was such a great master. Even he was frustrated for one reason. He said, I am here to give the highest to the world, but nobody wants. See? In Hindi, he said these few beautiful words. I am ready here to sell Hira, diamond. But people come and ask for Hing as a Bhotida. Okay. Bhagavad Gita is meant for discovery of this happiness in your life. Bhagavan Krishna defines what should be the result of Bhagavad Gita. Brahma bhuta prasannatma na shochati na kankshati samaha sarveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktim labhate param. Brahma bhuta prasannatma. If you are cheerful and happy, you are the follower of Bhagavan Krishna, or else not. See, friends. So when Arjuna was not asking any question and wanting to know the highest in life, Bhagavan has to play a trick. And the trick that he played was create a problem. Dukha mein sumiran sab kare, sukha mein kare na koi. When we are miserable, then we think of God. How many of you have thought about the dentist when you were young? But when pain here, pain there, pain everywhere, then we go to the dentist. Now be attentive. The pain is given to us not for we should suffer, but it is a reminder. Hey, something is going wrong. Take care. See? The difficulty, the problems of our life are only meant for this purpose. If you are physically unhealthy somewhere, take care. If you are mentally disturbed, take care. If you are intellectually disturbed, take care. It is just a reminder. Beware. See? It is not for us to torture. Like we take our clothes and put it in washing machine. Very dirty clothes, not washed for last 1 month. You know, the jinn, they never change, they will never wash. Simplicity. And when it starts stinking, then people tell around, I can pay for washing that. So we take those dirty clothes and we put into the washing machine, and strong detergent, hot water, high revolution, and when we start that machine, do we say to the clothes, now suffer, now suffer? No. They are given that treatment so that they are clean and reusable. They are not meant for torture. Friends, in the same manner, every pain, every difficulty in our life is for making us a fit instrument through whom happiness can manifest. See, this is Bhagavad Gita. Like this mic is between you and me. Mic has no purpose. What is the job the mic has to do? Whatever I talk, it should amplify properly and reach it to you. That's all. But instead of taking my voice to you, if the mic starts making his own voice, sometimes it makes, isn't it? Like electronic omkar, hum. Or it goes on cleaning its throat. Then such a mic which makes his unwanted noise is thrown away. In the same manner, Paramatma is the one, Krishna is the one who wants to talk to us through us. But like the useless mic, we make our own noise. And therefore, what happens? We get disturbed, we get miserable, we don't understand, we misunderstand. Why we don't understand? Because wit quotient is 0. See, this I experienced in Japan, Tokyo. I had a very different opinion about Japanese people. Chinese people are full of life, cheer, happiness, dancing. When I went there in Tokyo, my talk is going on, all of them were sitting as if after the talk they are going to be shot dead, waiting for the bullet to come. See, you can imagine I suffered there for 10 days. So when I was coming, then that person asked me, Swamiji, next time when are you coming? I said, I'll let you know. If you want me to suffer, become serious. I'll suffer. See, friends, life is a celebration. Don't calibrate it. There was a friend of mine, many years before. He had a son and a daughter. The son had polio. And the daughter was small. Son was 11 years, daughter was about 6 years. So I had my motorcycle. So that boy, polio one, he sat behind me and caught hold of me. And we went. It was a big, beautiful hill station. And my friend, his wife and the daughter, they sat on another scooter and they were following. So we reached the destination, and after I reached, I lifted that boy, put him on the seat, and then I said, hey, what do you want to eat? Swamiji, I want dosha. They were Punjabis. Punjabis, for them, dosha means a great delicacy. Like, for South Indians, chapati is a delicacy. And when the South Indians make chapati, it is a cartoon of chapati. And when the North Indians make idli, it is a cartoon of idli. Both are cartoonist. So I said, okay, we ordered 2 doshas. He said, Swamiji, now Papa will come and say, why you ordered so much expensive? 25 rupees per dosha. With this amount, we can feed 100 people in our village. I said, don't worry. Before he comes, we start eating. So they can't take it back. And as he said, the moment he saw, even did not get out of the scooter, he stayed, why did you all? Now tell me, when you go for a vacation, you go for saving money or spending money? Friends, life is a big vacation. Don't get worried. And when we go for vacation, we have a budget. We have to spend $100,000. Okay, then spend it. See, friends, then alone life is celebrated. Otherwise, every time, like particularly Indians, let's go and have a cup of tea. Starbucks, one coffee, $3.8. So expensive. See, friends, don't lead that kind of calculating life. So, if we take life as a celebration, what should be our approach? Wherever we are, we should be according to that. And after we celebrate our life, or after we go for a vacation, then what we want to do, you may be anywhere for whatever long period of time. Suppose you went somewhere and you were staying in a 7-star hotel. Then everybody celebrates you. Sir, whatever you want, you get it. But after a few days, you want to go home. नहीं अब ठीक हो गया, चलो घर चलते हैं. And what is home? The same useless cot with 3 legs. 4th leg is a chair. And you sit on that cot and that cot starts making noise. That is a sangeet. And then you ask a cup of tea to your wife. चाय मिलेगा क्या? Do you think? Yes, sir. You know nothing, tea the whole day. In that musical melody, you get a joy. Now I'm feeling at home. In that 7-star hotel, sir, surprising, who calls me sir? Because he was accustomed to sleep next to the railway track. He doesn't like peace. He likes that cat. In the same manner, he who is constantly banged at home by the wife, he goes to the hotel, peace, quietness. If it's abnormal, something is wrong somewhere. And then out of anger, she prepares the tea and gets cup of tea for you. And that cup of tea is bahira, deaf. It doesn't have ear. And all the lips of that cup are broken. In that Brahmanandam Paramasukadam. Don't we do this? Whatever you may be enjoying, but what we do after the day, we go to sleep. What is sleep? We come back home. In that sleep, we are neither man nor woman, neither rich nor poor, neither in America nor in India, neither 2016 nor 1947. When we come back home, we are at peace. See, friends. So when we are living our whole life, we must lead our life as a celebration, not as a calibration. And when you are in a celebration mood, you enjoy, you don't suffer. See? And there every kind of fun goes on. But for small little things, we become serious. That is not Bhagavad Gita study. So Bhagavan Krishna did this trick. When Arjun told, Senayor Ubhayor Madhye Ratham Sthapayame Achyuta, Hey Achyuta, take my chariot between the two armies. Here is the trick of Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is Sri Krishna Leela. Every verse of Bhagavad Gita is lived by Bhagavan Krishna in his life. He demonstrated that. Dukhishu anudvigramanaha. When Shishupal abused him 100 times, he did not get disturbed. Dukhishu anudvigramanaha. Sukheshu vigataspuraha. All the comforts. But on the battlefield, when in the night everybody used to take rest, Bhagavan Krishna used to do the massage of the horses. When everybody was taking food, Bhagavan Krishna was lifting the leftover plates. See, friends, that is his life. So, Bhagavad Gita is nothing but Sri Krishna Leela. So look at the Leela as a Leela. Don't become serious. See, friends, I am a good actor, by the way. In one drama I was acting, and the scenario was, first of all, the story was developed in such a way that it was a sympathy wave for me, the actor on the stage. And when my particular role comes, I was being tortured and made miserable, and with the glycerin I was crying and all that, and delivering my dialogues in such a pathetic tone. And all the audience was crying. And you know, these days, when the people cry, they don't cry with the eyes. They cry with the nose. They will take out the tissue paper, clean the nose. And on this also people ask questions, Swamiji, why these days these girls, they cry with the nose and not with the eyes? I said, you don't understand their difficulty. If they use the tissue paper for the eyes, the artificial eyelashes will go away. You understand their difficulty? You know? So when the audience was crying, because of the story, and I was crying because of the acting. What was going in my mind? You fools, you are paying and crying really. I am paid and I am crying fake. This is just a drama. Don't take life serious, friends. See, so what Bhagavan Krishna did, when he was asked, take the chariot between the two armies. Now what he should have done? He should have asked where to take, but this is where he played the trick. Imagine, if Bhagavan has taken Arjuna's chariot in front of Duryodhana Dushyasan, will Arjun ever ask any question? He came only to kill him. No question will come. See? It is something like a surgeon is taken in front of the patient on the operation table. He will not ask question, chai pani piya kya? He won't ask this question to that, patient who is already in anesthesia. No. He knows what for he has. He'll start his job. Exactly the same way. What Bhagavan Krishna did, instead of taking the chariot in front of Duryodhana Dushasan, Bhishma Drona Pramukataha Sarvesham cha Mahikshitam Uvacha Partha Pashetan Samavedan Kuruniti. Bhagavan has chosen of all the warriors on the battlefield, only Bhishmacharya, Dronacharya. Was it necessary? See, friends. And if he simply takes the chariot and keeps there, he is not Krishna. He further added one more stroke and he said, you want to know with whom you have to fight? You have to fight with your nears and dears. Samavedan Kuruniti. All the people in the opposite rank, they belong to your family. Kauravas and Pandavas were simultaneously both Kauravas only. They belong to the Kuru Vamsha. Kaurav Pandav, this is the division created by this Dhritarashtra. Mamaka Pandavas Chaiva Kima Kurvata Sanjaya. They were not two. And therefore Bhagavan Krishna said, Samavetan Kuruniti. Now you want to know with whom you have to fight? You have to fight with your nears and dears. Come on, start. See, friends. And when Arjuna saw, he was totally paralyzed. See, friends. And then he starts talking. Gandivam samsati hastat vakchaiva paridayate. When these verses are said in Bhagavad Gita, these chanting fellows, they go on chanting in the same mechanical way. That's not the way. That bhava should come. See? He was crying and talking. Can somebody cry and talk in music? Except in the Hindi cinema. See? So, he said, I am completely paralyzed. I can do nothing. And then, this is one most important thing. If you want to be happy, there are two options to live in life. Either we think first and then act, and then decide something. Or first we decide and then think. What the liars do? I am sorry, lawyers. My English is very poor. What the liars do? First they decide, my client is innocent. And the client has already told, he has done all these things to protect me. And yet, he first decides my client is innocent. Thereafter he starts thinking. Now tell me, will his thinking be supporting his decision or opposing his own decision? Think, friends. If decisions are arrived at after proper thinking, you will not regret in life. This is what every intelligent fool does this. They are called as, in our Sanskrit, Rakshasas. You know, Rakshasa, if you write in Sanskrit, Rakshasa, and read it the opposite way, it becomes Sakshara. Sakshara means educated, illiterate. They are called as Rakshasas. Okay? And such people, they are, in simple word, they are called intellectuals. Intellectuals are those who are intelligently miserable. Intelligent people are never miserable. Gatasu na gatasuscha nanu shochanti pandita. So Arjuna started being an intellectual. He decided, Etan hantum ichchami gnatopi madhusudana. I don't want to kill them even if I am killed. Those who are goody-goody type of people, they are having either a tremendous inferiority complex or their childhood must have been a very bad childhood. Living always in fear, always some kind of complex, always trying to be goody-goody. No, lead a very strong life of confidence. So, when this happened to Arjun, he started justifying how this war is bad, and he gave the highest discourse on Dharma Shastra to Bhagavan Krishna, because what Bhagavan Krishna understands. And to that, now another important thing, to that Arjuna expected Bhagavan Krishna should authenticate his decision. What you are doing is right. If you are confident of what you are doing, why go and ask others? Do it. Like one day, one young boy in Bombay, he came and asked me, Swamiji, I want your opinion. I said, I have no opinion on anything. He said, no, I want your advice. I said, I don't advise anybody. I can confuse you. That is my philosophy. Because I am a follower of Krishna. Krishna has always confused everybody. So I'll confuse you. He said, I have asked 3-4 people, but I am not getting proper evaluation what to do. And he asked, I want to become a sannyasi like you. And people tell I should get married, there is nothing in sannyas, what should I do? I said, get married. You tell so easily. I said, yes, it is your marriage, not mine. See, friends, I said, those who ask whether I should get married or I should take sannyasa, they are qualified only for a marriage. See? There was a young couple staying in the same town where her parents were staying. Some or the other thing happens in this husband-wife, she will run to her parents' home. Mummy say he is doing like that, he is doing like that. These, cranky kind of girls who don't understand, they are always miserable. So she will come. One day she came and her father was ready to go to take bath. The towel was tied around him. And he said, what is this? You come early morning from your husband's house and cry. What happened to you? You are just like your mother. So, the mother told, see, her husband is threatening her that he will take sannyas if you don't listen to me. And therefore she is afraid. If he takes sannyas, what will I do? So the father said, look here, he will not take sannyas, I guarantee you. Those who talk that I will take sannyas, they never take. And those who take sannyas, they never ask. He said, how? He like this. And he went out of the house with the tauliya and never came back. Hey friends, Arjuna wanted authentication of his decision by Bhagavan Sri Krishna. And therefore, he was asking his support. See friends, and in that, what Bhagavan Krishna did? Bhagavan Krishna was only smiling at him. And therefore, Prahasan iva Bharata. Here Bharata means Dhritarashtra. Sanjay tells Dhritarashtra, Dhritarashtra ji, to such a crying, depressed, dejected, frustrated Arjun, Bhagwan Krishna thus spoke with a smile on the face. This is the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, which gives us the highest message. You must have seen everywhere in USA there are many yoga studios. Every now and then there is a yoga studio. I was in LA last year or 2 years before, and one white lady, she came for a lecture. She said, Swamiji, where is your studio? I said, I don't have studio. You don't have yoga studio? I said, no, I don't have. Then she gave her card to me. See? Yoga under tree. I also don't have a studio, but I conduct yoga under tree. This is my specialty. If you don't have studio, where do you conduct? I say, I conduct yoga on the tree. And there is no mat, there is only tail. You have to fix a tail. And then start doing yoga, jump from one to other. See? This yoga, don't get lost in that. Take your mind for operation. Every experience happens only in the mind. Your body doesn't have pain. The worldly objects don't have pain. God doesn't have pain. Pain is experienced only in the mind. All the spiritual practice, let it be karma, yoga, bhakti or jnanam, all of them are meant for working on the mind. But we never take care of our mind. And those who don't take care of their mind, they cannot enjoy, they cannot celebrate life. For them, enjoyment and celebration means very base level. The other day, I was in Houston before coming here. I went to somebody's house and there were 3-4 boys and girls. So the food was being prepared. I said, hey, start something, TV. So one boy said, should we start AF, what is that? American Fun? Fun, AFV. American Fun video started. For the first time I saw that. 1, 2, 3, 4. I said, what is the fun here? American Fun means, you come running and you fall in the water. You are climbing on the tree and the branch breaks. Is it fun? So base. There is neither wit nor humor. When somebody falls, it is a fun. Ram, Ram, Ram. See, friends, this is not fun. The real fun is in and through this whole world. You discover joy and take a positive meaning from every experience. When you learn from every experience of your life, you are guaranteed to grow wise in your life. If we don't learn from our experiences of life, but instead of that, we react. When we react, we grow old and we become otherwise. Such people are lonely in the crowd because they emit extreme seriousness, frustration around. See, friends, don't take life in the wrong way. Therefore, whatever we are doing, everything is happening in the mind, and we have never taken care of our mind. How much care we take about our clothes, We want matching clothes. See, my lungi and my shirt are matching. Even Babajis want matching things. What to talk about the girls? Nail polish red, clothes red, .com red, purse red, car red, eyes red. Because husband didn't give what she wanted. Fully matching. So we take care of so much, everything. But when it comes to taking care of our mind, we have hardly taken care of our mind. And it is this instrument which is used to live through life. See, friends, like you are sitting here and your ears are open. Like the hippos, you cannot close your ears. Have you seen the hippos? They can close their ears by choice. When they go inside the water, they close their ears. When they come out of the waters, like that character, it opens the ears like that. So, like that we can't do. So I am talking, you are hearing. But you are not listening. Hearing is happening because the mind is not behind. You are not listening. And when we don't listen, if some joke happens in between, everybody laughs. And then you are in, why everybody? Then you are the next one. This tube light is because the mind had gone somewhere. So there are two types of people who laugh. Those who understand, therefore laugh. Those who are explained, therefore they laugh. See, friends, one person asked me this question, Swami, do you become miserable? I said, of course I do become. When? I said, when my joke goes flat, I feel most miserable. Some people ask, Swami, please explain the joke. Look, can the joke be explained? Or like the American method, I was kidding. The very charm of the joke is gone when you tell it is a joke. And when you have to tell it is a joke, you can understand you have reached the height of stupidity. Joke has to be understood as a joke. It is something like, one person told me, Swami, I have started learning painting these days, line painting. And I have drawn the painting, Mahatma Gandhi. So I said, which is Mahatma Gandhi? He said, this is Mahatma Gandhi. Now tell me, when your painting requires labeling that this is Mahatma Gandhi, is it a Mahatma Gandhi? Mahatma Gandhi's painting can be understood even by a blind person. See, friends, learn this art. Don't take life seriously. And this can happen only when you are taking care of your mind. Don't worry about the world. The world is always like that. Don't try to please anybody. Could God please you? When God has failed to please us, we the unpleased one, can we please others? But when people are miserable, I said, let them be miserable. We belong to a democratic setup. Everybody has the right to be miserable. Tathastu. See? So don't try to make anybody happy and don't try to make anybody miserable because there is no need. Everybody is self-sufficient. Many times don't we go to somebody's place, Arey, come, how come you have come here? No, I was getting bored alone, at home. Who was boring you? Nobody, I was alone getting bored. You can imagine when a person gets bored of his own presence, what a solid bore he must be. It is only because we are not taken care of our mind. Bhagavad Gita tells, take care of your mind. See? Atmaiva Atmano Bandhu, Atmaiva Ripuratmanaha. Here Atma means mind. Our mind is our friend Our mind is our enemy. If your mind is always cheerful and happy, you will be always celebrating life. And if your mind is all the time depressed, dejected, moody, see, small little things are able to upset us to a great extent. No, refuse to be miserable. That is the meaning of yoga according to Bhagavad Gita. And sa nishchena yoktavyaha. And this yoga must be practiced with confidence. Refuse to be miserable under any condition. Don't react, only act. The day you take this, then we are studying Bhagavad Gita in a real sense. Otherwise, like the tape recorder starts playing, Urdhva Moolam Adashagam Ashvattam Pravaravyam, that tape recorder will get realized, will remain there only. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.